Hey everyone, welcome to the video. This is Ryan with RHYNO'S Royals. Today I wanted to talk about 5 rack systems. Good rack systems that I would recommend, 3 of which I personally have. But first let's talk about what rack systems are. When you first look at a rack, you're going to think that this is something that holds clothes or tools. It doesn't look like something that a ball python or any animal is going to very much enjoy living in. But I can assure you that they do, because it's dark, it's humid, and it gives them everything that they need to live, just like they experience in their natural habitat in the wild. See, when you find a ball python in the wild, of course you're going to find trees and all sorts of other wildlife. That's not going to be something we can replicate in captivity, but we can replicate where they like to hide, where they feel most comfortable. And that's basically what we're doing with a rack system. Rack systems are dark. They spend a lot of their time hiding. The only times they come out is if they need to eat and when they want to mate. So let's talk about the pros versus the cons. I think the pros heavily outweigh the cons because this is going to be the most efficient way to store your ball pythons while giving them what they need. Pro number 1, they are very compact. If you tried to keep this amount of animals in a terrarium, for example, you couldn't come even close to the amount of space that you would save using racks over a terrarium. Number 2, they're efficient for breeding. Again, they enjoy silence and solitude. This gives them that. If they're in a tank, they can be seen. This stresses them out. I already covered this, but they're dark. They love the dark. They love to hide. They spend most of their time hiding. So again, this gives them what they need. They're very efficient at holding humidity. A terrarium typically has a screen cover or a lot of areas where humidity can escape. Even heat can escape from these as well. So that's another thing right there. A rack system is enclosed. Typically you're putting little holes in there, or there is a very, very small amount of space where an airflow can be had. And that's just about it. If you want to actually control your humidity, you're going to have to put holes in the racks, which I'll show a little bit later. And finally, it's the most efficient way to provide belly heat. If you have a bunch of terrariums, you're going to need a bunch of thermostats, and then you're going to need separate heat tape for each one of those. If you have one rack, you can control the entire system on theoretically one piece of tape snaking through the entire rack, and you can use one thermostat to control the entire thing. And then finally, the only con that I can honestly really think of is being able to see the animal. You're obviously going to be able to see and make really cool terrariums. I've seen some cool, awesome stuff. You're not going to be able to do that really with a rack system. You certainly can decorate them if you really want to and put some stuff in there, but there isn't going to be vertical space, and you really can't see into them all that well. A terrarium is going to be far superior for something like that you would see even at, say, a zoo. All right, so I'm going to show you on the computer what I consider some of the 5 best racks available right now. There are plenty of other racks, and if you want to comment below some of your favorites, I definitely would love to hear it. I'd love to go see them myself. Let's get right into the video and show you some of these racks, 3 of which, again, I have myself. All right, first up is VIVARIUM Electronics. I picked this one first just because it was my first rack. I have 2 of them, 5 stacks of the Super 70. VIVARIUM Electronics sells a lot of stuff. They're probably, I think, most well known for their thermostats, which are great. I have quite a few of those as well. But their racks is obviously what we're focusing on today. They don't really sell from their own website. Well, I know they sell certain things in stores. In my local pet stores, they sell their thermostats. But as for racks, I've never seen them there except for in expos and stuff like that. A lot of other retailers will sell for them. I've discovered them through Reptile Basics. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So we're just going straight to Reptile Caging. As you can see, they have a lot of stuff. So this is kind of where I started at. I started getting the rack systems and tubs. That's where we're heading. All right, as you can see here, they've got a lot of different products here for racks. So you can get all different sizes. The cheapest one here, I believe, is 115 bucks. You can get the VE6 rack for basically $265. The economy racks, they kind of shave off some of the sides, use a little bit less material, so you save a bit of money. The Super 70 5 tub, that's what I have. At the time, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna get the biggest thing because I was gonna get I got some breeders just to get kind of jump started. You can even get these work tables. You put them inside of the middle rack when you have 2 of them, and it kind of comes out. So I actually don't have one of those, and I'm thinking about picking one up. You can get extra tubs if you want from here as well. The rack pins in this one is kind of unique. If you have a snake that's particularly strong or a species that's particularly strong, this will kind of lock it in place. Not that most of them would be able to do that, but snakes are, of course, escape artists. But basically, long and short of it is that you can get a rack for whatever snake or snake size that you need, whether it be a hatchling, subadult, or a breeder adult. All right, next up is sea serpents. I also have a sea serpents, although I only have one. It is a hatchling rack for 16 tubs. 6-quart shoe box size is basically what they call those. And again, I like it. It works great. It shipped fairly quickly, and it shipped in one piece. That's something that you don't see too much. Every other rack for a lot of these, you have to assemble yourself. So having one just arrive, that was super convenient. All right, and what you're gonna see here as we look is that there is currently a lot of lead time on racks. That's always been the case, but right now, it seems to be a little bit more with shipping issues and scarcity of supplies. So as you can see here, there's a lot of different racks you can pick from. The 18 tub hatchling 6-quart rack is what I have. I believe I said 16 tub earlier, but that is $300. I think that I had it shipped for about that much too, or maybe it was $350. But you can even get it cheaper, 9 tubs for $175. There's tubs here for colubrids. You can get a 45 tub 6-quart hatchling rack as well. All sorts of different options here. Set up with whether you want to house your hatchlings or your adult breeders. You've even got some mixture racks here so that you can kind of mix and match whatever you want with a combo rack. Even a single, 1 adult tub. So if you just kind of keep one snake or you want to stack a couple of them, maybe you just want to breed once a year. That's fine. Just get yourself one of these and maybe a 18. I probably wouldn't recommend 9 because they can surprise you a little bit. Again, this is a really great product, so I think that they're good. I've been nothing but happy with this rack, so suits my needs. I actually probably will get more to eventually put on top of my 18 tub rack, because you can stack these. Probably I should just get a 45. I have the room, and just put the 18 on top of that. Next up is Next Level Displays. This is my main rack currently going forward. I have a lot of their stuff. I've fallen in love with the product. It's a little different. The other 2 that we discussed are PVC based. This one might fool you at first glance that it looks that way, but it is actually high density polyethylene. What they offer here is something that is much more lightweight and very durable. I searched how they make it and what it can do. I saw tractors running this over to show its durability, but yet it's very lightweight. They do have a website, but they mostly operate off of social media platforms and just calling them up. So you can see a general idea of a lot of their racks and products that they have to offer. I have most of these at this point. Another reason why I love these is the fact that they use Freedom Breeder tubs. So I love the gray tubs with the plastic deli cup holders. The one problem I have with the other ones is that there is no cup holder. So if I get a feisty snake, they are going to dump their water everywhere, and I open it up and they often will defecate in it, and it smells like a swamp. So I have to clean that every single morning in some snakes' cases. But with these ones, I don't. If they happen to defecate into their deli cup, just throw out the deli cup and get a new one. Very, very simple. They're not going to be able to tip that. If they can, then hats off to them. But I've never had that happen. So again, you have all stages of growth, whether you have your hatchlings, you have subadult racks, adult racks of various different sizes, pretty much everything you need to take a snake through its entire life cycle, and to breed as well. They can stack very easily. I haven't had any trouble with any of that, and they look really cool. Before moving on to the big boy commercial breeder racks, I wanted to give 2 honorable mentions. I don't know anything personally about these companies, but I just wanted to include them as honorable mentions, just because they are really popular, well-named ones that I hear a lot. First up is Animal Plastics. They have, again, everything you need to take it from hatchling to adult and to breed, including some cool combo racks. The only thing I hear from them is that they have a fairly long lead time, but I don't really hear anything bad about the product personally. The second honorable mention would be Vision Racks and Cages. Again, I do not have this, no personal experience with it, but I hear their name quite often, so I figured that I would mention them as well. They have a much different design, and I believe a lot of their products use heat cable instead of heat tape. The heat tape is something that is a little bit wider and runs usually across the back end of it. These do something similar in terms of their placement, but it's just a small little cable that heats up. You can get an enormous amount of tubs here, 108 hatchling tubs, and all the way up to breeding racks, combo racks, so they have quite a few options as well. All right, on to the commercial snake breeder. This is what you're going to see in a room, most likely with somebody who's gone big time. First up is ARS caging. A lot of people think that they're unaffordable, but you can buy these in levels, so that's another option to get something started. They also have every single thing you're going to need from hatchling to breeder adult. You can even get rodent systems, which are also just rodent racks. I won't talk about them very much, but these are the places to go for those. So the reptile systems themselves, again, there are dozens of different options here. This is really clean, really professional stuff. These guys are based out of Indianapolis, which is actually really close to me. And another thing that you can save a lot of money when you're buying these is if you don't have them shipped. Pick them up at a expo, or if you're close, go get them. The shipping on these, as you can probably imagine, is colossal. That's where a lot of your cost is going to be on these. So if you can cut that cost out, then maybe this becomes an option for you, even if you are a hobbyist. And finally, Freedom Breeder. Everybody knows who Freedom Breeder is. Again, another really big one. Tons of people use this stuff that are big time. And again, you can buy these in levels, so that if you want to start off with a smaller amount and kind of build that up from there, you do have that option, and you can customize your own racks so that you can kind of have everything housed in just one big rack if you wanted to do that and have multiple species. But again, you have tons of different options here, from full-on racks to single level, which this might look like a big price point, but when you consider even the PVC ones, when you stack a couple of them on top of each other, you're approaching this amount. So this is definitely a reasonable amount for something so high quality. So again, I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that this helps you out a little bit. If you have any ideas for other racks that you enjoy, that you know about, let us know. Comment below. Maybe we'll take a look at those in the future as well. We will be at Tinley this week. This video will probably be going up technically the first day of it, so the setup day. We plan to be there Friday and Saturday and film there as well. So we have a lot of ideas for stuff to film there, probably a top 5 snakes, my own pickups, what I'm going to be getting, and some other stuff too. It doesn't necessarily have to be just ball pythons, I think. It's a big reptile show, yeah, sure, dominated by ball pythons, everybody knows that, but there's a lot of cool stuff there, a ton of cool stuff. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe so that we can continue to grow the channel. Visit our Morph Market page, please. Take a look at what we've got. We've got a few more to add there. And then, of course, right now, that's actually leftovers from last year. We already have eggs in the incubator for this year, and anticipate quite a few more. A lot of pied stuff. We're going to have clown stuff a little bit later as well. So check out our Morph Market for now. And we hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.